to segment 3.7. We're going to look at now a little bit of enforcement of your rights. Once you have your copyright, what do you do with it? And how do you actually enforce it to if somebody is actually infringing on those rights? So if infringement is found, namely if somebody, again, comes along and is using your work, so in the case, for example, of ETS and Katzman, ETS came along and said, hey, Katzman is literally copying our content and needs to be stopped. So when you file that complaint with the court, you can do a number of things. You can request an order for further violations. That in essence, that would be stop. You're not allowed to do this anymore. Additionally, you could request money damages. So if there's lost profits, if the other side has been unfairly enriched by use of that copyrighted material, all that goes into this calculation of money type damages. Last but not least, if you've incurred fees in order to take your rights and proceed forward, those fees again would also potentially be a means for being recouped during the actual litigation process. I would indicate that typically what you do see is definitely order relating to prevention of further violations and money damages. Attorney fees are on a case-by-case basis. Sometimes you see them being granted and sometimes you do not. Now, factors considered will include purpose and character of use. This relates to the actual infringing use. Amount and substantiality of the portion borrowed. So did you just take one small section, or did you take the entire work and actually copy it in your own? And effect of the use on the market for the copyrighted material. So again, this is another instance where if let's say you take a short story and you write your own story based off of what was previously disclosed in the other short story, they will look at, all right, to what effect did the new work actually even influence the market? If there were no sales relating to your work, but there were still substantial sales for the other work, they may say, well, there was really no effect. On the other hand, if you come out and you are releasing material that includes copied material, and you are making a very big dent into the market, the courts will say, well, yes, it does make sense to potentially levy greater action against them because they are unfairly taking advantage of that copyrighted material, and they are essentially deceiving the market and putting it forth as their own. Now, one of the defenses that you can use here is one, as was indicated in the video early on, a fair use. Now, the fair use is correct, but it needs to be an innocent infringer. You can't go into this saying, oh, I'm just going to rely on fair use. It needs to be an innocent use of the fair use type doctrine in order for that to even apply. Now, other ways in which, in fact, you may be able to get access for permission, or rather, you do not need permission in order to access it, would be research, scholarship, and my favorite, education. For education purposes, we actually can use copyright material, and we do this sometimes so that we can have better access to resources to teach students on as well.